Very good morning to all of you. Welcome you all on our YouTube channel, The Learning Garden. I am Dr. Manju. I completed my doctorate degree from Homi Bhabha National Institute, affiliated with Bhabha Atomic Research Center, Mumbai. We are doing NCERT Science Box on our YouTube channel. So in a today video, I will discuss about human circulatory system. Human circulatory system is a part of class 7 NCERT science book, chapter 11, transportation in animals and plants, and human circulatory system is part of class 10 science also, life processes. So in this video we will discuss about human circulatory system. When we talk about circulatory system, so first thing that we should know, what is the circulation. Circulation means movement of the things from one point to the another point. But we are talking about human circulatory system, it means movement of the bloods to the various parts of the body. We all know all the living organisms, they need food, water and oxygen for their survivals. We say we get energy from the food, but how we get this energy? We intake food, we inhale oxygen, then after digestion of food, a chemical reactions occur with the digested food, glucose and oxygen, and then carbon dioxide is released as a waste that we have to remove out from the body. So for all this process, for all this transport inside the body, animals need to transport of these substances from one part to different parts of the body. So this transportation is required. But are you wondered how all this is achieved? Can you see this figure? Here you can see this is the heart and this is the blood vessels. So this heart and these blood vessels, they together form the circulatory system, because this heart and these blood vessels, they help in transportation of substance from one part of body to the different parts. In this video, all the diagrams are taken from www.bing.com charts, and I don't know what are the basic origins of these diagrams. So here we are talking about human circulatory system. So when we talk about human circulatory system, first thing that comes to mind is blood, because we are talking in human circulatory system, blood helps in transport of all these substances. So what is blood? When you get a cut on any part of your body, you what you see? You see there is blood flow out. So first question that should come in mind is, what is this blood? This blood is a fluid which flow in our blood vessels, and this blood transport the substances like digested food from the small intestine to different parts of the body, and similarly it carry oxygen from the lungs to the cells of the body, and also transport waste for the removal from the body. Here we can see this is the heart. Here you can see this is the heart pumping the blood into different body parts, and this is making the human circulatory system, and this pumping system transport the blood, and with blood various substances are transported that we have just discussed. So here we will discuss this chemical reaction that is happening in the body for getting energy. We know we get glucose from the food, we get oxygen by the respiration process that we inhale, and by this chemical reaction, this glucose and oxygen react with each other. They convert into carbon dioxide and water, and some energy is released. So here what the blood transported? Blood transported this glucose from small intestine to different cells of the body. Blood transported this oxygen from lungs to heart, and then from heart to all body parts. And then by this chemical reaction, this carbon dioxide is generated to the different body cells, and from that, because this is the waste, this is not required in our body, so we have to remove it out. So from the different body parts, blood carry this carbon dioxide back to the heart, and then from hearts to the lungs, and then out by the respiration process, and this energy is utilized during various processes, and water that is required for some consumption that is used, and excess of the water is also removed from the body. So up to here we have told, we have discussed that blood carry various substances, but how does the blood carry various substances? We know blood is composed of a fluid. Blood is composed of a fluid which is called plasma, and in this plasma different types of the cells are suspended, and these cells, they help in transportation of various substances. If we talk about types of the cells, red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets, these are the cells which are present in the blood plasma. So first, in a short time, we discuss about types of the cell. Would you here wonder why the color of the blood is red? We know red blood cells are present in our blood plasma, and these red blood cells contain a red pigment called hemoglobin. And hemoglobin pigment is red in color, that's why blood appear red. So what the hemoglobin helps? Hemoglobin binds with oxygen and transport it to all parts of the body, and we can say ultimately to all cells of the body. If there is no hemoglobin, it would be very difficult, it will be very difficult to provide oxygen efficiently to whole body. If we talk about white blood cells are provide us power. These cells fight against disease, fight against germs that may enter in our body. So white blood cells provide us power. These are also present in our blood cells. These are also present in our blood plasma. And third types of the blood cells are platelets. Platelets are also present in blood, and here we will discuss a topic, then we will understand what are the platelets. Here, Bujo fell down while playing a game and his knee got injured. Blood was coming out from the cut, and after some time he noticed that bleeding had stopped and a dark red clot had plugged the cut. Now Bujo was puzzled about this, how this clot is formed. So, if I tell you the clot is formed because of the presence of the platelets, these platelets helps in clotting of the blood. Now, after blood, next part in human circulatory system is blood vessels. Here we can see there are the different types of the blood vessels in the body. First, if we discuss in detail, see, these are the lungs and this is the heart, and these are the different body parts we can see here. So, during inhalation, a fresh supply of oxygen fill the lungs. So, from the lungs, blood will carry oxygen to the heart. So, here we can see this is the pulmonary vein. This is the pulmonary vein that is bringing oxygenated blood from the lungs to the heart. So, these pulmonary veins bring the blood to the left atrium, then to the left ventricle. So from left ventricle, this oxygenated blood will supply to rest part of the body. So here we can see, we know which carry blood from the heart. This is the artery. So this is the aorta that is taking blood from left ventricle, and this aorta is then separated into different branches. This branch is going to upper part and this branch is going to lower part, and then finally this aorta is finally divided into small tubes, small thin tubes called capillaries, and supplying blood to the different parts of the body. Here we can see. After that, we have seen the reaction. Here in body cells, this oxygen react with glucose, carbon dioxide will be released and we will get energy. Then how we will remove this carbon dioxide? Our blood will also remove this carbon dioxide. So from different body parts, from the different body cells, this carbon dioxide is also picked by the blood. So name of the blood vessels which carry this carbon dioxide rich blood, these are the veins. So this is the inferior vena cava and this is the superior vena cava, which are bringing carbon dioxide rich blood to the heart. And which part? Right atrium of the heart, then from right atrium to right ventricle. So now in the heart there is the carbon dioxide rich blood and we have to purify the heart. We have to remove this carbon dioxides from the body. So from this right ventricle, this carbon dioxide rich blood will be supplied to the lungs. So who will carry? We know artery carry the bloods from the heart. So this carbon dioxide rich blood that is going to the lungs, name of these arteries pulmonary artery. So here we can see this artery is separated into two parts. Here this is the pulmonary artery going to the left lung and this is the pulmonary artery going to the right lungs. And we know in lungs again blood is gaseous exchange occur and bloods become oxygenated. CO2 is removed out from the body and oxygenated blood come again to the heart. So here we can see circulation. We have seen different kinds of the blood vessels. So two types of blood vessels that we have discussed here are artery and veins. Artery and veins. This is the artery, arteries carrying oxygenated blood to different parts of the body, and this is the vein that is bringing carbon dioxide rich blood to heart. Then from hearts to lung, these are the pulmonary artery which are taking out CO2 rich blood to lungs, and these are the pulmonary veins which are bringing oxygen rich bloods from lungs to heart. And this is again artery which are taking oxygenated blood to different parts of the body, and then veins which are bringing deoxygenated blood or CO2 rich blood to heart. So this is the cycle that we can see. I hope now circulation of blood is clear. So here we will discuss about arteries and veins in little. So what are the arteries? We have seen arteries carries oxygen rich blood from heart to different parts of the body. Here, because these are taking blood from the heart and we know heart pump very rapidly at a very high pressure. So to prevent the rupture of these arteries, naturally these arteries have thick elastic wall. Can you measure the pumping of the heart, or we can say because this heartbeat gives you pulse rate, number of beats per minute is called pulse rate. So can you measure this pulse in your wrist? How you can measure? Here can you see in this figure? Place your middle and index finger of your right hand on the inner side of your left wrist. Now can you feel some throbbing movement? What do you think? There is a throbbing. This throbbing is called pulse, or we can say this is the heartbeat due to the blood pumping out from the heart. It is due to the blood flowing in the arteries. Now, can you count the number of the pulse beat in 1 minute? How many pulse beat could you count? Or I have discussed the number of beats per minute is called pulse rate. So, this if you are counting this number per minute, you are getting pulse rate. In a resting person, this pulse rate is varying between 72 to 80 per minute. Here, if we talk about veins as we have discussed, these are the blood vessels which are carrying blood from the heart, which are carrying blood. Here we can see these are the veins which are carrying carbon dioxide. Oh, sorry. Veins are the blood vessels which carry carbon dioxide rich bloods from different parts of the body back to the heart. So here we can see this is the vein which is bringing blood back, carbon dioxide rich blood to the heart. And because these are transporting blood from the different body cells, so there is not much pressure. So veins have thin walls. There are the valves which are present in the veins and which allow the blood flow only toward the heart. So here, Bujo is confused. Bujo is thinking that I have learnt then artery always carry oxygen-rich blood, but here this is the pulmonary artery which is taking blood from heart to lungs, and this is carbon dioxide rich blood. So how it is happening? Then Paheli explained him pulmonary artery carry blood from the heart, and we know the blood vessels which are carrying blood from the heart are called artery, not a vein. So pulmonary artery carry carbon dioxide rich blood to the lungs, and pulmonary veins carries oxygen rich bloods from lungs to the heart, and veins are the blood vessels which are bringing blood to the hearts from different parts of the body. So from the lungs we know oxygenated blood come to the heart. So pulmonary vein is the blood vessel which is bringing oxygen rich bloods from the lungs to the heart. Next part of the blood circulatory system is capillaries. Here you can see this is the aorta, which is divided into different branches, and finally this artery divided into smaller vessels all reaching the tissues. These artery further divided into extremely thin tubes called the capillaries, and these capillaries join to form the veins which empty into the heart, or we can say veins bringing this carbon dioxide rich blood bringing back to the heart. So here we can see the capillaries where these arteries are divided into very thin small tubes, and these small tubes here we can see in different body parts, even in lungs also these small tubes are called capillaries. Now come to most important part of the human circulatory system, that is heart. What is heart? Heart, as we have discussed, this is the heart. Heart is an organ which beat continuously, acting like a pump, or we can say here heart is pumping. It is pumping the blood to all parts of the body or continuously transports substances with the blood. Suppose there is a pump and it is working for some years without stopping. Is it possible? Absolutely impossible. But our heart works like a pump non-stop. When we take, or we can say, when heart is formed inside the fetus, then it started pumping. Then it starts, heartbeat starts in a very small fetus, and it works till the death. It pumps the blood till death. So this is the heart, works like a pump non-stop. Now can we learn something about heart? Where is the heart location? Heart is located in the chest cavity. Here we can see, and with its lower tip tilted slightly toward the left. Here you can see, and if you hold your finger inside your palm, inward on your palm, so this make your fist. If you can see, this is the fist. Your heart is roughly the size of your fist, that you can see here also. This heart shape is roughly your fist size, and it is slightly tilted toward the left. So here we should discuss about diagram of the human heart, because a very common question that comes, that when one can think, okay, what will happen if the blood rich in oxygen and blood rich in carbon dioxide mix with each other? What will happen? Then our body energy will not work sufficiently, because we need energy. When this glucose react with oxygen, then we get energy. But if oxygen and carbon dioxide mix, then some of the carbon dioxide also react with glucose, and we will not get that sufficient energy that is required by the body. So what happen? Naturally, there is a separation of the chambers in our heart. We have already discussed also, but a little more discussion is required. To avoid the mixing of the blood, God has made four chambers in our heart. Two upper chambers, these are called arteria, and singular we can say atrium, like left atrium and right atrium, and two lower chamber, this is called left ventricle and this is called right ventricle. There is the separation. Here we can see how the blood circulation occur. See, this is the inferior vena cava. Inferior vena cava bringing carbon dioxide rich bloods from lower part of the body, and here we can see superior vena cava, that is bringing carbon dioxide rich bloods from upper part of our body. So where this carbon dioxide rich blood is coming, this is coming in the right atrium, that is the part of the heart. So from right atrium it will go to right ventricle, and here we can see this is the tricuspid valve. Uh, as we have already discussed, valves are present in the veins, so that there is only one way flow in the heart and other blood vessels. So here we have seen, so in the right ventricle blood will not flow to the right atrium. So from the right ventricle where blood will go, because this is carbon dioxide rich blood, and we know carbon dioxide we have to remove from the body. So from here blood will go to lungs, and who will carry blood from the heart? We know artery carry blood from the heart. So because from here blood has to go to lungs, so name of this artery is pulmonary artery. So here we can see this is the artery that will carry blood to the lungs. So here we can see this is divided into branches, and this is the left pulmonary artery which will go to left lungs, and this is the right pulmonary artery which will go to right lungs. So in the lungs we know there will be the exchange of gases, then oxygen rich blood will come to the heart by the pulmonary veins, because we know the blood vessels which are bringing blood to the heart, these are the veins. So here we can see these are the right pulmonary veins which are bringing blood to the heart, and these are the left pulmonary veins. So they bringing blood is coming to left atrium. Here you can see the opening in the left atrium. Oxygen rich blood is coming from lungs to the heart, then from left atrium to left ventricle. Here again we can see the wall, and these walls permit the backward flow of blood. So here blood is in the left ventricle, and this is oxygen rich blood. Now who will supply this oxygen rich bloods to different parts of the body? We know arteries carrying blood from the heart. So here this is the aorta. Aorta will carry this oxygen rich bloods to different parts of the body. Here we can see this aorta is divided into different branches, and these different branches supply the bloods, oxygen rich bloods, to different parts of the body. So from this figure it is clear how oxygen rich bloods supplied to different parts of body, and then by the chemical reaction we get carbon dioxide, and that carbon dioxide rich bloods coming back to heart, and then from heart this carbon dioxide rich blood supplied to the lungs, and then from the lungs by the exchange of gases again oxygen rich blood comes to heart, and then heart to different parts of the body. So here blood circulation is very clear. Now we will talk about heartbeat. We have seen the heart, and the wall of the chambers of the heart are made up of the muscles. Here we can see these are the chambers, and their walls, these are the walls of the heart chamber, and these walls are made up of the muscles, and these muscles contract and relax rhythmically. Contract and relax rhythmically. The rhythmic contractions followed by its relaxation constitute a heartbeat, because when heart contract, it will pump the bloods to different part like this. If you see, we will do it fast. And this is the left atrium. When it is relaxed, it is getting blood. It is getting blood. After getting blood, it will transport the blood to left ventricle. So during transportation, it will contract. When it will contract, then again there will be the pressure on the walls. Then left ventricle, first left ventricle was relaxed, but it is getting blood, and after that it has to pump the blood to different parts of the body. So left ventricle then contract. So this circulation is going on. So the these muscles contract and relax rhythmically. This rhythmic contractions followed by its relaxation, they constitute a heartbeat. So we know this heart pump working continuously, so heartbeat also continue every moment in our life. How one can measure this heartbeat? If you place your hand on the left side of your chest, you can feel heartbeat. Doctor measure this heartbeat using this instrument called the stethoscope. So in this video we will end the topic. Thanks for watching the video. Jai Hind.